All right, folks. How we going? Welcome, welcome. When we last left off our wonderful mystery tour, we were attempting to figure out precisely why we were getting a wide and varied set of errors off of our Minecraft mod tooling while attempting to include a specific Java-based Twitch library. The plan with this project, for anybody who is currently unfamiliar, we are attempting to build a Minecraft mod with one very simple goal in mind. We are planning to build a mod that allows us to control various aspects of the game through Twitch chat messages. The idea is that we can have people modify the weather, spawn mobs in, all of that fun jazz, entirely controlled through Twitch chat. At least that is the concept. The execution so far, if anybody who caught last night's stream, has been a little bit lacking. We are we are presently in a bit of a situation where we're mostly attempting to battle Gradle and all the fun that comes with Gradle as a build system, which is always phenomenal, which is great. That's always good for me. I am. Okay, I'm just going to simplify this slightly because I know we're not going to be using any of those, so we're just going to build a run config for. Just going to build a run config for that one. I'm going to set everything up exactly as it should be. Okay, let's try this. And then see if we can also generate out our IntelliJ runs. At present, the current state of the project is a little interesting. We have, let's just take all of those out and regen. In effect, the issue that we're experiencing is relatively simple, but also somewhat complicated. We have what I think is some sort of library incompatibility issue, or not necessarily incompatibility, but how do I put it? We have incompatibility issues with the fact that the Twitch library that we're bringing in contains dependencies that are already available within the mod framework, which means that we end up with a dependency clash because we're trying to import, as an example, 2 versions of Apache Commons. And then it gets very unhappy because it's trying to resolve for 2 versions of Apache Commons and the world explodes. That is the rough top line here. Like this, for example. Here is a wonderful example of this. So I'm actually going to see if I can pull a Twitch4j jar and use that, which is not what I wanted, but it's also might be. It might be the only option that I've got. Okay. let's head to the Forge documentation. Because what I'm after is the... Yep, Gradle and the jar in jar setup. Okay. Okay. So actually, I wonder whether we can do this with it. Hang on. That seemed happy. Okay, well, it's at least running this time. Okay. There's not X, there's only an include, not an exclude. Okay, because the issue here... Okay, I think we're going to have to go down a very certain road here, and I'm not happy about it, but it's also possibly the only option that we've got. Okay, we're going to create libs. We're going to open that in Finder. I'm going to put my jar file in it. Ooh, that's a lot of them. Is there anything in here that's specifically related to... Not at the moment. Oh, hang on. Is it this? Because they're separate modules. I actually genuinely wonder if it might be that. Because they come up as separate jar files in the... Okay, no. No, that's not. It's not complaining about that, at least. Okay, so we're getting somewhere closer here. What is the session plan? As the Twitch chat title says, we are building a Twitch-powered Minecraft mod. Okay, still failing on a class node I found error. That is phenomenal. And where? See, this is the question that I have, right? Is that this, what it's trying to find here is this com GitHub Philip Hoyer credential manager. Which is here. So I can like manually include this. But it's like it's not happy is what I will say. Okay, we'll try this. Bring down a like explicitly bring in credential manager. Like there's no way it can't find this class now. It is 100% available. And yet still can't find it. Okay, let's look further at this crash dump. Okay, the crash dump tells us very little, if nothing, which is phenomenal. Nope, the music is coming from the stream. I will turn it down a little bit further. Okay. Implementation files. Can you give us an overview of the project folder tree? Sure, quick one. We have a whole bunch of Gradle files which are being used to set up the configuring build system. We have a bunch of underlying toolchain stuff, the Minecraft mapping themselves, this whole section here which defines our IntelliJ runs, the repository section for external dependencies, the dependency section for internal dependencies, where we're pulling in Forge, which is our mod framework, Twitch4j, which is the library that they're attempting to get installed, Credential Manager, which contains the classes that it claims doesn't currently exist. We then package that into a jar with this specific set of attributes, which are then read back out by Forge as a mod manager once the mod's loaded itself. We obfuscate the jar file so that it matches the internal Minecraft class specifications. We then have a bunch of build files. Those aren't strictly relevant right now. Libs, which currently contains a bunch of libraries that I've downloaded in an attempt to fix the problem that we're currently debugging. Then if we head into main, we have a section both for a resource pack definition, which we have here, and also for a mods.toml file, which defines the mod loader, loader version, credits, version numbers, description, bunch of stuff that's then, like I said, packaged into the resources and then read out by Forge once it loads the mod. We then have a couple of source files here. We have a config, which is defined with a Forge config spec. We then specify, we basically set up the config on this and then build it onto this public static final variable defined off of these variables down here. We have not yet had a chance to look at configuration because in the period of time that we were trying to, we were primarily looking at, we've been attempting to solve this library loading issue. Inside the mod file itself, we define the mod with the mod ID from our metainf, which is also defined here. Set up a logger, set up a couple of deferred registers to deal with blocks, items, create a couple of blocks, create a couple of items, set up our mod bus in the main class instantiator. register the Modbus, register the configuration file that we set up in the class earlier, define our common setup function, and attempt to load up a Twitch chat instance, which is where we've sort of ended up. We've commented out some stuff for adding blocks into creative mode because we don't need those strictly right now, and also some stuff for subscribing to server events because this is not going to be a server-side mod. We are subscribing to the client mod event, so at the moment the only handler that we have is for client mod setup. That's pretty much the top line. Yeah, at the moment we don't really have too much code right now. The main thing is getting this working. Like as soon as we have this block of code functioning, then everything else is going to be a walk in the park. But we're currently in build system hell. So the plan at present is to figure out the best way that we can to get ourselves out of build system hell, with the primary goal of then moving on to more fun things. On that basis, I am going to attempt to pull this in by files, and we're going to see how that ends up going for us. Whether a fully implemented version of this in this context is going to help us, I don't know yet, but I know that it's an option. And we're going to pull in this, and we're going to pull in the chat jar. Load that into Gradle, do the build, and then we'll see where we end up. What's the played orchestra title? I actually have no idea. It is a file called AI Electropop BPM 127. Okay, we have a successful Gradle build. So, what? Right. Okay. So immediately we are experiencing issues, which is interesting to me because this implies that we have been missing these for a little while. Okay, rebuild the project for me. Or don't. That's equally as fine. Yeah, let's do a full project rebuild. It is interesting to me that this is so far... Oh, libs. That's probably part of it. Okay, right. This is good. So there's definitely... Okay, we're definitely getting somewhere. As in, it is resolving these class definitions infinitely faster than it was. Okay, so what do we have so far? We have... Essentially, we're back to here. We have everything except these wonderful Philip Hoyer credential manager jars. So can I just pull a jar for this? Or is that... Okay. No, I can. There is a jar for this. So let's add that to our wonderful mystery tour. Why this would suddenly be the approach that solves this, I do not know, because Gradle is providing us with the exact same stuff, but... Okay. Okay, this is looking good. I think we're starting to get somewhere here. Okay. So we need events for J. Proving very quickly to be a slow breakdown sort of situation. As in, we're getting there, just very slowly. Yep, so we have events for J core, which means we're going to need events for J API. God, I'm going to end up with every jar in this thing, aren't I? Yeah, I really am. I'm bringing Twitch for J comment. Oh no, this is actually running now. No class def found identity provider. Holy. Okay. Okay, let's try turning all of these into Minecraft libraries and see if that changes anything. Yes, it does. New error. Finally. Faster XML Jackson Core. So let's try bringing in Jackson Core. This is finally moving very much in the right direction, which is positive. Okay, this is looking good. So we're going to add OK HTTP. I'm really trying to figure out precisely what exactly is causing this to horrifically break in the first place, but I mean, I don't even know anymore. I think this might actually be a like inverse thing where by adding every single library individually, we eventually figure out what we need to explicitly exclude from the default one. Okay, so we're missing the Kotlin standard libs. Which would have been an entire other challenge if I'd decided to do all of this in Kotlin. I mean, good God. Not relishing that as a concept. It's in Okio. Yeah, we are literally going inverse at the moment, so that is an experience. Let's see if we can add this JVM in. And then we run the client. I'm starting to think this might not quite be related to the things that I originally thought it was. Okay, this is now after the events for J. Simple handler. Let's just try rerunning that because I've just added the simpler handle, so I'm pretty sure that should be available. adding in bucket for J. Yeah, I think what I'm actually going to end up here with, what I'm going to end up with at the end of this is an exclusion list that I can then just apply back to the original implementation block. Xanthic cache core. And I'm going to guess that we're going to end up using Cache API and possibly Cache itself. Yep. Okay, what am I getting here? Registered identity provider. Okay, so there's some Netty reflective stuff, which isn't going great, but broadly, this is actually starting to run, which is very exciting. You can see in the log files here that we are starting to get stuff moving, which after the experience that we had last night is comparatively palatial. Okay, so we don't have a cache provider, which I am going to guess is going to be the jar called cache provider. Okay, so we then need to do that and provide caffeine. God, yeah, this really is the inverse list, isn't it? But we're not going to think about that now. Twitch4j client WebSocket. Let's see where this puts us. Neo Visionaries WebSockets listener. Okay. Where is that coming from? Probably this, actually. That would actually make quite a lot of sense. Wait for the transforms to build. Twitch4j common proxy config. Okay. Let's try bringing in util and see if that solves that problem. I mean, this is the closest that we've managed to get so far. By a quite wide margin, so I don't want to just throw it away for now. Yeah, it's in the combined one. Which makes sense, sort of. This is very odd. Okay, let's maybe go back a second here. So let's just bring the implementation in and see what happens. Because it might be that there's a way that we can extract whatever's causing it to be very unhappy at the moment. Okay. Can I maybe just bring in Credential Manager as a file and leave the rest of this? Which is an option. Okay, this is actually going in the right direction so far. Let's see if defining it as a Minecraft library causes more trouble than it. Yes, it does. Okay. But we always knew that was going to be the case because reasons. So this is Commons IO. Yep, so we explicitly take that out. Could not set unknown property version. Okay, that's fine. I will cd that one. Let's just nuke all of the cache because I'm not really interested in dealing with that. Yeah, where's the task here? Task not found. That's unusual. Okay. So we have... Okay, so what I need to do here is set Gradle's duplicate strategy. We'll see if this does what I think it will. It will not. Let's try cleaning it out as a starting point. It's doing something.
very excitedly doing something. Taking a hot minute, which I'm guessing is just the rebuilding the cache. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is a let's also exclude Lang. In the hope that that similarly solves a certain type of issue. Okay. Is transitive maybe the correct approach here? Possibly. Though I feel what this may have done is put us back in the position that we were in a little earlier. Or not, actually. Maybe this isn't as bad as I think it is. Like the three that I actually needed here is these. And as long as I have the appropriate dependencies for them. See, and now we're back to it again. God dang it. Okay, let's try taking that out completely, and we're gonna do some slightly screwy stuff. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for Apache. This is strange as hell. Yeah, this might require another Gradle clean because we're technically dealing with. This is something to do with the local file stuff, and I'm hoping that this like substitution thing is gonna fix it. It does fix it. Cool. We just have this Apache enum thing. Okay, but also like, what the hell Apache Commons Lang are we even using here? This is working so far, which is interesting. So it looks like this might actually just be a like some internal module clashing thing. What the hell is he using? This is going to generate an awful dependency tree, but it's the best thing that we've got available to us to debug this. Drop this into a file. Okay, so everything, with the exception of one, is actually using the up-to-date version of this library. And then that appears to be what's then causing this whole cascade effect. Yep, there we go. And now we're back to where we were. Okay. What do we have here? Everything I'm seeing here is all correctly tying back to Commons IO 211. Which is true. What? Oh boy. Let's see if the client run plays ball. Oh, and now we're back to this error. Wonderful, we've come full circle. Where we wonderfully somehow now have two exports. Which is very unusual. All right, we're going to take a quick water break, and then I will be right back with you folks. Right, let's get back into the fun. So, we are currently back to our wonderful looking main exports package error, which I'm not best pleased about. I'm wondering if I take these configurations out, whether that's going to improve matters or change them in any way. Seems like so far we've been battling a collection of errors that seem relatively unrelated to each other, which doesn't make this significantly easier. Okay, so we do this, we're now back to duplicate keys. Let's try going back to our old file-based approach. See if this gives us any success. Okay, so we're missing Twitch for J common, except we aren't. Twitch for J common config. Okay, that's interesting. That does not have it inside it. That just has extensions. What is this proxy config included in? I mean, this is just strange now. Implement proxy support. Okay. Yeah. And it's added into common. Something preventing it from being used. But it's also not being added anywhere. Okay, where's this? Sure, use proxy config in WebSocket common. That's fine, but also where the fresh hell is this thing coming from? Right. Okay, I might have actually found a way to solve my problem. Please, dear God. Okay, hold up. Okay, what is this doing? Because this is built for fabric, so... This is actually correct, though. Wasn't Helix deprecated? I thought one of these was deprecated. Kraken's deprecated, so we don't need Kraken. Where's my finder place? Oh boy. Wait, is it trying to do fabric things? That's where it's trying to do fabric things, but that not now. What's this? Failure? Fine, we'll just take that one out for now. Yeah, I don't actually know if that one's even necessary. Wonderful, and a commons duplicate. Yet again. Okay, so then maybe we do need to bring this one back. At least partially. Because we don't want, like, We don't need to like fully cancel. Yeah, there we go. Bring the build back again. Okay, this is good. We have different problems now. Okay, let's try Gradle Clean and see what we get with this one. And now we're back to this weird as hell. Back to this like source specification issue. What happens if I change the archive base name? Then run a Gradle Clean potentially? Module contains package. Module main exports package. This is so odd. Wait, hang on. Is this what I think it is? No, it isn't. I thought that those were individual files and they're not. So that's definitely not OSU. This all remains the same. None of that seems to be a particular issue, at least at the moment. It's this module main exports package thing that I can't get my head around. Mm-hmm. That's very odd. Because it's not even associated with the issue at hand there. It's just sort of happening. That is so strange. Okay, so thoughts here. This is clearly a module resolution issue. And we know roughly what's going on here. Is there anything here that's being specifically defined as like... No. Module main exports package to... Yeah, but that doesn't immediately seem to imply that there's even an issue there. Do we make the archive base name match the group? Okay, we're back to the duplicate, so let's do another Gradle clean down and see where that gets us. No dice. Still back to where we were on that one. Okay. Thoughts. I mean, structurally, it seems fine. It's specifically now failing out on the Commons Lang 3 stuff, which is better than we were before. It's better than where we were before by a quite significant margin, but clearly this is sort of going in the right direction, but it's not obvious what this is coming from. That is so odd. what I would best describe as strange. Hmm. Hmm. I don't have an immediate answer for this one. This is very odd. Because I mean, if we reset it back to where we were, then because we have the entire dependency chain functionally is right here. We have the correct resolution strategies for our dependency substitutions. The jar's building correctly. It's just that we have this. What is this secure jar handler? I'm assuming that this is something to do with like this is something to do with like file system building, but should not be this difficult. It's like there's two Apache Commons lines. Maybe I should take one of those out. Personally. In fact, maybe that might be related. It actually might be. This actually could be directly related, which is sort of absurd to me. Okay, so what happens if I take these out completely? Okay, so what is it here that is providing trouble? What library is importing Commons IO in such a way that it's destroying everything else? Trying to need dependency search. Okay. Maybe Transitive's going to fix this out? Because I'm just wondering whether this is going to be one of those situations where... No, it isn't. And the duplicative side of that doesn't really... give us much success either. Which is not great, but we'll work with it. Interesting. Hmm. That's very odd. Hmm. That is very odd. Which I know I've been saying very frequently on this stream, but I'm genuinely at a bit of a loss on this one because we've sort of thrown everything in the kitchen sink at it, and it doesn't really seem to be moving in the right direction in a lot of different ways. Hmm. Where does that even... Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if there's necessarily an immediate solution here. Okay. Right, I think given that given that we're going to be kicking off a chess stream in approximately 10 minutes, back to back with this, I'm going to call this here. We are going to shuffle off for chess, and then we'll be right back with you folks in about 10 minutes' time. Have a wonderful rest of Global Hack Week if you don't happen to catch that stream, and otherwise, I will see you all very, very shortly.